plus you. This week, we are going to do a jump from the normal narrative of the book of Shemot, Exodus, in which is the process about how the Creator is working with Israel after the Yetziah, after the exit of Egypt, and how little by little is forming. You have heard me talking about the surrogate mother. Egypt. I have told you about the addiction to idolatry and need to go through a process of cleansing. But here is going to come something that from nowhere jumps this parashat. And we are going to have 5 more parashas to the end of the book of Exodus. And they're going to be 2 and 2, 1 in the middle, and 2 and 2. And the 2 and 2, the first 2 and the last 2, are going specifically to talk about the building of the Mikdash. By the way, there is 2 words, Mikdash and Mishkan. Mikdash is a sanctuary. And here he said, Yashuv, no, li a Mikdash. Build to me a sanctuary. And then later on, he's going to talk about the place, dwelling place, a mikdash. They're going to be, and where I'm going to dwell there. Verse 8 of this portion. Where basically what he say is, Beasuli mikdash, the sanctuary. Make me a sanctuary. Beshahati, from that word, shahafti, that means mishkan, to dwell into. Also the word Shekhinah comes from there too, okay, about dwelling, the presence. Beshahanti, no, betoham. And here he said, make me a sanctuary in which I'm going to dwell. The logical will be betoho. No, that will be dwell in it. You are going to build me a place where I dwell there, no, in the Mikdash. But they say, I will dwell in them. Who? In them, who are them? Israel. From the beginning, and here I want to make something for all of us to understand. In certain religions, for example, in the Christianity, they talk about, I am abiding and the Ruach HaKodesh lives in me. No, the Holy Spirit. And it's a very, by the way, that is a very good statement. The problem is how it's interpreted. That is the problem. And the problem, the Ruach HaKodesh is another part of God. It's separated. In Christianity, they have 3 gods, make one. Well, the unity of God is unquestionable in Judaism. In biblical Judaism, Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And doesn't matter how theologians want to make it 3, 4, or whatever, multiple, it's only one, it's the unity. It's God is always one. No, that's very important. But here, what he's trying to tell to the people of Israel is that they are going to build something together. For the first time, Israel is going to have a purpose together. They are going to do something themselves, with their own hands, and they're going to work. And that's going to bring unity on them because there is a purpose. We are doing something for whom? For the Creator, for the Borei Olam. But do you remember last week and 2 weeks ago, I have been telling you this phrase, Ein Mukdam, Umeuchar Batorah. The scriptures that has early or later part. There is no chronological. And here we are going to see very clear there is no chronology on this, but there is pedagogical. It's to try to teach us something. Why? Because after this, after the 24, what a very natural will come is the sin of the Egel Sahab, the sin of the golden calf. And this is something very bad for Israel. You know, after all that Israel has come through, I told you about the drug of idolatry that Israel came out from birth, from Egypt. And this is a process. You know, I have worked for a long time, many years ago. I was working on counseling drug addicts. And you know, one of the greatest problems with drug addicts is falling back. And it's very hard, and it's a process. It's a long process. Drug addicts, they don't stop drugs in a second. You know, they need to go through a process, a long process. And sometimes they fall back and they come back, fall back, they come back. That's where we see with Israel falling back. But at this time, they do the most detestable thing in the world. You know, they are going to create a substitute for the Creator, and they're going to make a golden calf. You know, it all depends how you study. You are a historical person and savvy. You know a little bit about astrology and those things. You're going to see that makes a lot of sense. Why a golden calf? You know, the Taurus system and the worship of the now they saw the lamb fall down because they already being defeated, but they didn't defeat it yet the bull, you know, and the bull was something special. I'm going to talk about that in Kitise, the parasha in the middle. But here, when you're going to see the Creator is enveloped. I hope I said it right, because I have been practicing the word. Enveloped, you know, this parasha, you know, Terumah and Texaveh, and with the Beyachel and Pekudei, the last two, envelop Kitise. And what is Kitise? Is Kitisa. It is the center of the problem of Israel with the golden calf and all those things that we are going to see, the dialogue between Moshe Rabbeinu, our Creator, and how Moshe Rabbeinu finally rediscovered his people, and he's willing to give his life for his people. This is another message. But here, I want only to see why the Mishkan, the Mikdash, is so important. What is the Mikdash has that to envelop it, the sin of the golden calf and the sin of Israel? How is the construction here at the beginning? The first thing that you're going to hear here is in this portion, Terumah. The Terumah come from the word to be elevated or to go up, you know? It's like an aliyah, but it's to be going up. Then when you give here, you're going to be elevated. It's a position of honor. You know, we Jewish people, when we give, we feel honored to give. You know, it's a blessing for us to give. But also, it's very important to understand what the Creator say. He used a word, kach, okay, then, tikhu, jikhu, from the verb, the shoresh, kach, that means to take. He doesn't use the word to give, ten. You know what I mean, to give? Why? Because here there is a very important principle and concept for all of us. We cannot give to the Creator anything. You know why? Because He gave us everything to us. Then when He asks us something, what are we doing? We are taking back to Him what He has given to us. This is very important. Now, there are some of us that we are very tight, and there are some of us that we are open hands. You know, this idea, by the way, comes in the Sermon on the Mountain where Rabbi Yeshua, our Messiah Yeshua, talks. When he talks about wealth And they say the good eye and the bad eye, the top ayim and the rat ayim, and he said the one that has good eye and bad eye, and you know what it means. If you have a very tight hand, nobody can see what is inside your hand, and nothing can come out of there. But if you have an open hand, you cannot hold anything. Everything goes and falls, and you are a giver. All of us, we need to ask you, are we tight hand or open hand? And I'm going to tell you, more tight hand you are, more miserable you are. More open hand you are, more blessed you are. But we have all type of people. And I personally, I struggle sometimes with my tight hand. And I need to give myself opportunities. And I learn it through the time. I am blessed to learn that. Anyway, here, what the Creator said, bring to me all of you to build the Mishkan, to bring those ones who are willing heart. In other words, if you don't want to, I don't want nothing from you. You want to be miserable? Be miserable the rest of your life. Because I don't want anything from somebody who doesn't want to give. Sometimes in our communities, to ask for support in the community, it's like we become dentists, that we are pulling teeth without anesthesia. And the people, ah! And then, after they have pulled the teeth, they come and they sue you. Sue. They take you to court. Not only because you pulled the teeth, but how do you use my tooth? Well, here we are going to learn something very special about this. And why? In the center, the first thing I want to say is to build an aron, a box, a big box. And these big boxes are 3 boxes, really. What is interesting, that sometimes we don't. The basis of the box is acacia wood, and then it's covered from inside in gold and from outside in gold. So 3 boxes. Now, there, you are going to hold the edut, that is translated as a testimony. But all the rabbis will tell you what it means. The luach habrit, or the luchot habrit, because they are double. The table, the tablets of the covenant, the 10 commandments, they are going to be there inside. And they are going to be forever. And then talks about 2 more furniture in that moment. It's going to talk about the shulchan, the table, for the lechem, the 12 pieces of bread. And they translate it as the bread of the presence. No? But what it really means is the bread that reminds us as something to us. No? 12 pieces, because it's for all the tribes of Israel. And the next thing is going to be built a menorah. The word menorah comes from the word ner, that means light or candles. Then it's a candelabrum, if you want. And the shape is going to be like the shape of a tree. I know that you have heard about the Ex Haim, the tree of life. From where? From Genesis, from Bereshit. You know? Now, look at these three elements. Because we need to put it in perspective, and I like what Dennis just mentioned about that we need to understand why those things come on what is the application for us today, how we can relate it, how we can put it in practice, how can we work in it. You know, the box itself already is giving us a lot of ideas. The Ten Commandments are given in the sense that they were written on the rock. No? But also, they give us an idea that because it's put in acacia wood, that is a vegetable. And what a vegetable does, grows. No? And how it grows? You know, the only thing that grows is not that change the what it is. Wood is wood, you know, and when it's alive, the only thing that takes more space or grows in size. But what we call it, the quality, the essence is the same, has never changed. It's like a man, from the moment of conception, a human being, the only thing that does is to grow. You cannot add it or take anything from it. You know, in the moment there is conception, there is life, forever. You know? Now, the same thing with this a living thing. But then it's covered by a metal that is the most exquisite metal, that is considered the most expensive, the most special, the most, what we call it, wealthy and royal, and all those things they have. And gold has a quality. You know? The gold cannot be contaminated in the sense that it's very difficult to get impurity when it's totally melted and burn it and put it, then becomes not only pure, bright, showing brightness, and it's very steady, Freddy. You know, it's there forever. You cannot destroy it anymore. And then you have the table. The table represents bread, and what represents food. Was our Messiah Yeshua, who brought from the word from the Barim. You know, no all men live of bread alone, but I will live by every word that comes from the Creator. Then you have now the Torah, the cover, the Torah, and finally you have the menorah. The menorah, it is, in two ways we can see it. It has the form of a tree, and it's going to illuminate. No? All this tree has something in common. Bring light in a very dark world. If you look at the Mikdash, at the tent of meeting, you're going to see that there's not one window. No window at all. If you do not have the menorah, you will be running down from everything on, you know, whatever furniture is there, or obstacle. It's the menorah who illuminates the inside. And this menorah has an oil. And this oil is cover you, as anointing you. And the oil protects you. But the oil needs to be in such a quality that needs to be totally, totally pure, without impurity, like the gold. The tahor, they call it tahor. Why? Because if you light a oil that has impurity, what happens? smoke, and everybody needs to get out. Cannot stay there. But when it's pure oil, it's only light. With a simple understanding, and let's try to understand that we are brought to the Mikdash because there is something that the Creator wants to do with the people of Israel. First of all, they need to deal with the sin that they have performed, the worst thing that they could perform, idolatry. They have literally exchanged the true God for other gods. Our sages, they want to defend Israel, by the way. But the Torah is too honest to hide anything. It's going to talk exactly what happened. Now, our sages, they are going to blame the Ere Rab, the mixed multitude. They call it the Yashuv, the people, the bad people. And I say, give me a break. We need to take responsibility. Meanwhile, we don't take responsibility, we cannot grow. Meanwhile, we cannot say, I did it, I cannot advance. Meanwhile, I don't do teshuvah, I cannot grow. And that's where Israel is going to go after the golden calf. They're going to understand, finally, what they did. Because before that, our Creator didn't need, and he never needed a house to dwell in it. He never needed a place where to stay, because he will dwell in each one of us. But why Israel was given this Mikdash was because they could focus on something that was there, the presence of God. They could understand, and they didn't need to look at another place, only to focus on the Creator. And here, this is a beautiful, beautiful principle in Judaism. You don't need to look God everywhere, because he's always with you. But you need to focus on him, not on something else. We are constantly looking new things. We're constantly looking for new ideas, and knowledge. I have said to many people, and I have met many people, who are an ocean of knowledge, with one finger deep of understanding. There are people that go from this place to the other place. They're running from one place. Oh, look at their new thing here. Oh, look at their new thing here. They're running, and they never establish in any place. They are not faithful to anything. Why? Because they cannot be steady. They are only looking for new things. Only to say, oh, I know about that. But what about our own life? Do apply. Look at when the Creator gives these orders. Later on, we are going to see that the people came. Why they gave so much? We need to understand this, very important. Not about only the graciousness of Israel. I love to talk about how good Israel is, but let's be honest. You know what? When you have been caught, and you have been found guilty, and they are going to destroy you, and the Creator has mercy on you and forgive you, what happens with a forgiving heart? What happens when somebody has been saved from a literal death? What is your reaction? Gratitude. They are so grateful to our Creator that They give everything that they give what they don't have sometimes. Why? Because they need to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the reason they gave so much. To the point that Moshe Rabbeinu needs to say, stop, don't give him more. Sometimes I would like to be in the situation Moshe Rabbeinu to tell you, please stop, don't give me any more. I will be a happy man. Okay, now, here comes reality for us today. Where is your Aaron? Where is your coffer? We, the Ten Commandments. Have you kept it in your heart? Or you have it there as only as ornament and show place? Because the truth of the matter that most of us Jewish people, we have a Torah as ornament. But many of us, we have not even read it. But we have in our house. It's like a Christian people always have the Bible. It's beautiful in the center of the, but many of them, they don't even know what is inside. But what is your Aaron? Where do you keep your Torah? Because if you keep your Torah in your heart, you are forced to be tahor. In other words, you need to be clean. And to be clean is not something that happens once a day. You know, pretty soon we are going to arrive to Pesach. And always I like it to say this, to make these announcements about the Jewish housewife. I say, the Jewish housewives are so good cleaning their houses, they're better than the Gentile wives. Because the Jewish wives, they only clean their houses once a year. And they do such a good job that they don't need to clean it anymore. Meanwhile, the Gentile wives, they clean every day their houses. And everybody look at me, and the Jewish ladies don't like me what I say, and the Gentiles start smiling finally, you know? Okay. Let me ask you something. Do you clean your house once a year? Or you need to be cleaning your house every day, every moment? You're tahor. You need to be clean. And this is a process of learning. And it's a process of growing. And it's a process of responsibility. It's a process of knowing why we have been given this free will. Because in that way, I cannot blame anybody for my actions. I cannot pass the buck to somebody else. And when we have a task together as community to build a Mishkan, do you know that during the time that they built the Mishkan, there was no any problem, no any questioning, no any kebeshing we say, or when we say quejarse? No. They were happy, working. As soon as they finish, they start fighting again. Meanwhile, we're busy. We're okay. But when we have too much time in our hands, our mouths are the worst thing that can happen. The Lashon Ra begins so fast that we cannot stop it. We are looking about what others are doing instead to look about ourselves. Let's continue looking at the building of the Mishkan, and let's see about the elements that are inside. And each one has something special that can give it to us for today. And it is my prayer, it's my desire, that all of us will learn from each other. Because each one of us has our own Torah inside us. And you will be surprised that when you read the Torah, how many things you can learn from it. Our sages say that the Torah has 70 faces. What it means is, depending the angle that you look at the scriptures, that you are going to find something very special. Not everything is written already, because the wisdom of God is infinite. We are the one that we are limited. Well, please, let's be practical. Let's keep our Torah inside, and let's keep our area of the Torah, our place, our mikdash, clean all the time. Shabbat Shalom.